Hey, welcome to the ArtMaster channel. This is probably the most satisfactory video throughout my whole channel, and it is very important that you guys stick to the very end. Let's dive right into it. Okay, let's begin by showing off the markers that we're going to use for today's video. These are the chameleon markers, and right off the bat I just want to say this is not a sponsored video. I just really like these, they really caught my attention, and I really want to show off their properties. So, let's begin. As you can see, these are quite longer than the usual markers, and it's basically because of this storage or deposit that they have, but once you remove them, they become way more like a normal sized marker. As you can see, these also have two different sort of tips, like a marker tip and more like a brush type of tip. Now, you may be asking, ArtMaster, what's the use for that storage or deposit? Well, this is the answer. Once you grab the deposit or the storage marker and the regular marker, you can make the tips touch by clicking in these two ends, and as you can see, the white tip kind of leaves a transparency residue into the coloring tip, and this will actually help us to get the perfect gradient effect. Let's just run a quick test and see how it looks. As you can see, this is not magic, this is just the perfect gradient just by applying the marker to the sheet of paper. It's really that good. And now you're going to be able to see how long you press both tips together. It's really that good. Now you're going to see an example of the same three drawings and how long that gradient lasts depending on how long you press both tips together. And I tested this with 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and 30 seconds. A thing to note is that you have to be aware of what is the type of gradient effect that you want to achieve depending on your drawing, since, like for instance, if you press it for less than 10 seconds and you leave the gradient to be quite small, you might ruin the coloring process of your piece, so be careful about that. Now here's the deal, these markers are quite expensive, and you should check the pricing depending on your region and the time that you're purchasing them. So I really wanted to try if they could mix well with other markers, and here I ran a test using one of the Copic markers that I have, and as you can see, I think it's a very decent mix of both colors and both markers. I really enjoy that. Well, enough testing, let's go directly into the practice. I'm going to show you a bunch of drawings painted with these chameleon markers, and their grading effect is just so good and satisfactory to watch. So, without further ado, let's dive right in. I'm not done yet. Look, here's a box of, very cheap markers. I'm using the Big Kids brand right here, and this is what I want to show you. What if I told you that you can achieve this same chameleon effect by using these markers and a cucumber? And you might be thinking, ArtMaster, you just gone completely insane. Is this a cooking channel now? What if I've subscribed to you? What is going on? Just give me a second, I'll explain. Just by slicing a cucumber and then using one of these markers and just dip it in to the white part for 30 seconds, 40 seconds, the same amount of time that we applied with the chameleon markers, you're going to achieve the same effect. And look, here's the proof. It's working really, really well, I have to say. And, if you don't have right now the pocket money to actually purchase the chameleon markers, this could be an alternative, just if you want to have that sort of effect. And if not, well, it's just funny that it works. But look, I also did this test with fine color markers and even Copic markers. And they still look really, really good. The only difference is that I've been making very slow and deliberate strokes, so the gradient effect might look a little bit different. I bet that if we use a faster stroke to make these effects, they're gonna look way different. And look, here is the comparison of each individual stroke with a 40-second dipping mechanism, and you'll just see how they look. Let me know in the comments below which one do you think is best. As always, every material that I use are going to be in the description box for you to purchase, or at least so that you can have a gambit. As always, if you like this video, please drop a like and subscribe for more content. It really does help me out a lot. Thank you so much for watching. See you all on the next one. Goodbye!